from the multi-purpose room at Studio 500, The Scott Newman Show with your host, Scott Newman.
Yeah. All right, hey, let's get it on. Hey, hi and hello, everybody. This is your old pal Scott Newman. Hope all is well where you are, and this is the third episode of The Scott Newman Show. Yeah. All right. Hey. Okay, all right. Making it to our third episode is quite a milestone. I've got a lot of metaphors and business axioms that I use in the office, most of which what makes my team kind of roll their eyes. But one of which I think is pretty apt, as it's usually used for goofs and mistakes, which a lot of people say is pretty much the definition of this show. It goes a little something like this. 1's an instance, 2's a coincidence, 3's a trend. So I think by our third episode here, we're trending, guys. This is a thing. One thing we aren't, though, is consistent, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But first, let's say, as we do every episode, good morning to our team. Behind the glass, we've got our producer, Chris Ellingson. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Good morning. Oh, okay, looks like the labor is striking already. It seems that since our last episode, the Scott Newman Show has been inundated with feedback in support of Chris. Let Chris speak, they say. Yet Chris has assured me that he was fine with his mutational role. But I guess up until now. So it seems that he's rising up. Let's break away the camera. The camera seems to be his oxygen. So let's break away from him. Junior reporter RJ is again monitoring from the wellness office. RJ, can you hear me?
Morning, Scott. I hear you just fine.
Hey, top of the morning to you.
Thanks again for having me on here. It's an amazing show, and I heard nothing but positive things about the show.
Well, go on, please. Take as much time as you'd like.
Oh, sorry. Chris is calling me. I gotta go to work.
Okay then. Well, let's move on. I mentioned earlier that one of the things we may not be is consistent. And let me just address the first two episodes, because I think by our third one we are starting to hit our stride and we're kind of knowing how to hone this technology. If you're watching the last episode, you would know that we had some technical difficulties, okay, yeah, but we think we're hitting our stride now. Let me just give you a little recap about what happened last Friday, shall we? We recorded the Scott Newman Show on a Thursday, the day before airing on Friday, and we warned you at that time that it was going to be a bit of a challenge. Editing and production was up until 3 a.m., and then again all the way up till 30 minutes before airing on Friday. The uploading to the touchdown system was not working. I arrived to work in shorts and a sweatshirt with my laptop and met Chris in the lounge to assess how we could find a quick workaround, just to meet the Friday 11:15 a.m. deadline. We even thought pointing the community room camera at my laptop, but that wouldn't work. So we did what everyone else is doing nowadays. We Zoomed. If you're not familiar with Zoom, it's the software everyone is using nowadays to video conference during this quarantine. I created a Zoom meeting on my laptop, invited Chris to the meeting on his laptop. Chris connected his laptop to the touchdown computer in the clubhouse. I shared my desktop view, played the video from my computer, and fed it through the in-house TV network. Wow. Yeah. We even scrambled to have every employee in the clubhouse shut off their cell phone just so that they wouldn't be using the bandwidth of our internet connection. If you can imagine it, Chris, RJ, and I are running through the clubhouse yelling, "Shut off your cell phones!" It really happened. So, based on the circumstances, it probably came out as good as it could have been, but I want to thank Chris and RJ for their on-the-spot thinking for making this happen, so let's give them a round of applause. All right. Yeah, thankfully, everyone's had a chance to look at the reruns, which were much more stable, and today's episode should have all the kinks worked out. Speaking of the show, we have a hell of a show for you today. We have some fun things planned, such as a special holiday Scott 6. We were able to recapture last week's lost employee interview from Internet Purgatory. We have a very cool cooking show with a special guest. And finally, we'll close with Scott's sentiment. Let's take a quick break. Take it away, Ranch Rockin' Band, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've reached the next segment, which we're all familiar with now, which is Scott's Six. Before we jump into that, though, we've already received a number of phone calls and emails about today's episode, which is pretty incredible considering that we're recording this a day before. But we've received some feedback about that. I'm not wearing a tie today, and I admit it. Yeah, you know, I did make a commitment that I was always going to wear a bit of a nice talk show suit or at least a tie to look correct. But unfortunately, while I'm wearing a new shirt, last week was gray, this one's a nice blue one, I'm finding that during the shelter-in-place time and coronavirus, I have what I'm now terming the quarantine 15. And unfortunately, yeah, I'm having some challenges buttoning this guy up right now. So thank you, everybody. Yes, I'm getting a bit of a pie face. You know, this is probably one of the side effects of not being able to exercise over at China Camp or, you know, doing this show, let's say. So I do have motivation now that hopefully by next episode, be able to lose a couple of lbs and you'll be seeing me back in a nice tie. So thanks for the feedback. As we always say, all feedback is good feedback. Let's jump into today's Scott's Six, which in honor of Mother's Day, which is coming up this weekend, we have a special holiday edition of Scott's Six, which shall be Scott's Top 6 List of Mothers. Top 6 mothers. Well, how about mothers in no particular order? Or are they? Number 6, let's jump right into it. Number 6, Mother Teresa. Ooh, well, I think we should all be in agreement here that we will not make any jokes about saints, but Mother Teresa, thank you for all the work that you had done in your life. Not a bad way to start off this segment. So, Mother Teresa, thank you. Number 5. This may be a little controversial in these modern times. Number 5 is June Cleaver. Now, June Cleaver spent a lot of her time, obviously, caring for Wally and the beef. Also a great wife to Ward. But let's also not forget June Cleaver's civic duties. You may not know this, but she was actually a city council member for the Mayfield City Council. So June Cleaver, early demonstrator of the in-house, out-of-the-house successes. Thumbs up to you, June. Let's move on. Number 4. Ooh, well, yeah. Mother Nature. That's a good one, right? Mother Nature. No fighting Mother Nature. I think Mother Nature always wins. And Mother Nature's probably a bit more of a fuzzy one compared to her husband, Father Time, who also remains undefeated, as I'm noticing on the top of my head here. Yeah. But Mother Nature, thank you for all the beauty that you bring us. Right now we're experiencing great weather, and wow, Mother Nature, you're a great mom. Number 3. Well, I can't argue against this one. Susan D'Augusta, my mom. Well, I think this is a great opportunity for me to say, Mom, thanks a lot for being a great mom to me and to my sisters. And I just want to say also to the homeowners at Smith Ranch Homes, I saw my mom yesterday. She says hello. She's sheltering in place and not really enjoying it. She misses working here and seeing all of you, but she did admit too that she's probably thankful for not having to manage this crisis at Smith Ranch Homes. So Mom, I love you. Thank you so much. You're number 3 on the list. Number 2. Well, okay. Rose's mom. That's right. If you don't know by now, this is Rose. And Rose's mom is my wife, Sheridan. And sweetheart, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to you. You're an incredible mother to our little baby. You just do a remarkable amount of work, and I probably don't hold a candle to all the efforts you do. I'm thankful. Rose is thankful. We love you so much. Happy Mother's Day. Well, that leads up to the number 1 mother. It's not my mom. It's not my baby's mom. Who could it be? Number 1 mother of all time is all mothers, and not just birth mothers, surrogate mothers, grandmas, aunts, whoever else raised anybody. Thank you so much for all that you do. Happy Mother's Day to everybody at home. This world is a better place because we have mothers, and there's probably not enough days of the year for us to really truly pay proper respect for the mothers in our lives. We love you. Have a great holiday weekend. We're going to come back with a special guest, and we'll see you after this break. See you soon. Welcome back to the Scott Newman Show. We're reaching the segment now where we're going to have our employee interview. And we have a special guest here today. Our production team, in preparation of today's show, thought maybe we will make this a mystery guest. Homeowners at home can guess who we have here. But we also thought afterwards, once our guest today started speaking, it might not be such a mystery after all. So maybe we'll do that moving forward. But today, we've invited Danielle Uwalde, the Director of Dining Services at Smith Ranch Homes. Danielle, thanks for joining us.
Well, Scott, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of your show today.
First and foremost, we have our masks on, right?
Yep,
We're socially
absolutely.
distancing.
Yep.
The county order is still in effect. Have the trusty tape measure. We got to do it, Danielle.
Okay,
we got to make sure we're adhering here.
Okay, hand sanitizer.
Okay, sanitize up. There we go. After I touch this, you never know, right? So we sanitize. There we go. Let's pull it out here. Now, yeah, you want to sit down. Make sure we are 6 feet. Okay, I'm measuring. Well, are you sitting correctly here? Okay, there you go. Yeah. Hey, we're well beyond. We're almost 7 feet over here, so we're good. How tall are you, Danielle?
How far am I?
How tall are you?
I'm about on a good day 5'2".
5'2". Okay, so you don't meet the social distancing requirement. Okay, so we're at our 6 foot marker here. We're legal guys, but and let's jump into it, Danielle.
All right.
We know your name and we know what you do here. How many years have you worked at Smith Ranch Homes?
Gosh, I was hired in 1999.
Wow.
So January 1999. It seems like another century ago.
Yeah, well, you've worked this whole century here at Smith Ranch Homes.
Time
Wow.
goes fast.
So before Smith Ranch Homes, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? What's your family life like? Where do you live now? Just tell us a little bit.
Yeah, well, I grew up in a little village in the southwest of France by the Pyrenees foothills. My childhood was really happy. No, really.
What's the name of the village, if you don't mind me asking?
Eolde.
Uwalde?
Eolde.
Okay. There's no association, like your last name sounds a lot like where you're from. Is there
No,
any
but
relationship?
since both are Basque descent, so you
Gotcha,
will have some
okay.
kind of a similarities.
Tell us a little bit about like your kind of your hobbies, your
Yeah.
interests. What keeps you busy?
Oh gosh, well, I love the outdoors.
Mhm.
So any chance I have to go outside to do a run on the trail, or to go hiking or mountain biking, everything that really allows me to be in close proximity with nature.
You're the Director of Dining Services, and we're getting to know about you a little bit more. What is your favorite food? What do you love? What is your birthday or your anniversary type of meal that you want to make sure you have?
I have so many food that I love. It will be difficult for me to tell you what it is that I love, but I can tell you something that I don't like.
Oh, okay, let's go the other
Okay.
side. Love it.
Raw onions and cucumbers.
Raw onions and raw cucumbers, or can they be cooked?
I never tried them cooked.
Okay, I don't think I have either. Can they be
Raw
cooked
cucumbers and raw onions. Those are
Really?
the two cucumbers.
Do you like pickles? Which are
I
essentially
like the
inherently
sweet
cucumbers.
pickles. So the sugar takes away the flavor
Yeah.
of the cucumber.
Gotcha, okay. So you've been at Smith Ranch Homes for 20 plus years.
Yes.
Share with us a poignant memory or a humorous story that you have experienced here at Smith Ranch Homes.
Yeah. Well, after so many years, everything becomes sometimes a blur, so you need to stop thinking about it. But there is one story that comes to my mind, and some homeowners who hear this story are going to recognize themselves.
Oh, okay.
And
we won't name them to protect the innocent,
no,
perhaps.
absolutely.
Okay.
But
Good.
it's an incredible story where 2 or 3 couples were dining together, and in the midst of a conversation, One of the gentlemen just started talking about his past life and how he was part of a band and he was a musician. I'm not exactly sure where, probably maybe in the Chicago area, I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens that the couple across the table from them just questioned him and asked him if he had another pseudonym.
Mm-hmm.
And I said yes.
Another name,
Another
right? Sure.
name.
Right.
And it happens that after 60 plus years, they found themselves together, maybe thousands of miles away from they first met,
Wow.
when the lead singer signed an autograph to the other resident who still had that paper with the original
Get
autograph.
out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, Smith Ranch Homes time and time again shows how small this world is.
Absolutely.
People come from all different places in life and then
Yeah.
find out that there's these similarities and
60
interests.
years later, they found themselves at a dinner table without knowing who they were.
So we have a celebrity here living at Smith Ranch
Not
Homes.
anymore, but
Okay.
the person who has that autograph, the couple,
Fine.
still here, yeah.
Okay. We're gonna jump into our word association game. As we did before, we're gonna pepper you with some questions.
Okay.
You don't know these questions, do you?
No, I do not.
Questions. Words. But you don't know these words.
No.
Okay. And the goal here is to rapid fire. I'm gonna shoot out a word. Whatever comes into your head.
Okay.
Again, G-rated. Residents are watching this at
Oh,
home.
absolutely.
So I'm gonna shoot something to you. I want to hear what pops in your head. Let's see the psyche of
Yeah, I know,
Danielle
I'm not
Uvalde.
really good at that game, but let's try.
Okay, well you got 10 opportunities to shine or
Not.
not. Okay. First one. And we got to keep eye contact. And as we said before, no laughing. No, you can laugh. Sunset.
Romantic.
Oh. Pencils.
Write-ups.
Write-ups. Danielle Uvalde. Family.
Love.
Love. Salad.
What did you say?
Salad.
Salad. Healthy.
Healthy. I could have said cucumber salad.
Not so much for me.
Yeah, right. Okay. Here's one. Napoleon. Napoleon.
Island.
Island. Is there an island named Napoleon?
No, but he was exiled in an island.
Oh, I like my history. I didn't know that. I would have just gone with tasty dessert because Napoleon
Oh,
is a
my
dessert as
God,
well
no.
too. So,
I
you
still
know,
have the Cinco de Mayo too.
there's no wrong answer. Okay, here's one that I think I know about you. You didn't say earlier, but camping.
Outdoors.
Yes. Let me rephrase that. Outdoor camping.
Rewarding.
Not indoor camping, gang. Okay.
Rewarding.
Here's one. Rewarding. Yeah, absolutely. Getting some fresh air. Continental breakfast.
Continental breakfast gathering.
Gathering. Yeah. Rumor mill, as I've heard the continental breakfast here
Well,
at
that's
Smith Ranch
another
can be.
word.
Right. Okay. Here's one. Toilet paper.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Everybody
We'll
has
never
that.
not associate-
Everybody has that answer.
My child and your grandchild may say, why does grandma or dad have stacks and stacks of toilet paper in their closets 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Okay, here's one. Again, these are random words. Elton John.
Ahead of his time.
Ah, absolutely, and still relevant today,
Yes.
right? Okay, finally, 10th word. Smith Ranch Homes.
Fun.
Choose your words wisely.
Fun place to be.
Fun? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. I like it. Yeah, it is a fun place to be. Well, Danielle, thank you very much. We've learned a little bit about you today, and particularly cucumbers. I will know that Danielle does not like cucumbers.
So
And if
if
we
you want to
ever
keep
do
me
a
happy-
specialty going away dinner party for Danielle one day or whatever, never bring around the cucumbers. Or just bring a lot of cucumbers over as a goof. So Danielle, thanks again.
Okay. Thank you,
We'll be
Scott.
back.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that employee interview with Danielle Uhalde. And now we're going to keep it within the world of dining services, but with a little variation. As we know, General Manager John Patrick Mara knows his way around the kitchen. And in honor of Mother's Day, he's going to show us a couple of his specialties that he has up his sleeve. Something that we can prepare for maybe our special someones over this holiday weekend. John, take it away.
Thank you, Scott. Hello, everyone. I am thrilled to be a part of the Great Scott Newman Show. I'm here to pay tribute to the mothers today with a happy Mother's Day treat. I'm going to make for you scrambled eggs with caviar with vodka cream. First off, why are you wearing a tie with a chef's coat? Well, this is a tribute shout out to my mentor in La Napoule, France, Louis Outier at L'Oasis, world-renowned restaurant, who actually taught me how to make this dish. He always wore a tie and a chef coat. No one could ever figure out why, but for special occasions, I'm still doing it in honor of him. So let's get started. First step up, we are going to cut our egg to make the scrambled egg. Simple scissors. We're going to clip the top, give them a little shave and a haircut here. Carefully trim the top. Take out our egg without any shell. If you get any shell, use the other part of the shell as a magnet. Dispose of that. Now, because we're serving this with caviar, we're not going to add any salt, right? But we are going to add a little touch of ground pepper. Actually, that's a lot of ground pepper. That's the way I like it. Next step before we scramble our eggs, we're taking sour cream or creme fraiche. We're whipping it lightly. We're adding also another twist of ground pepper because I love it so much. And then we're taking a fresh organic lemon and we're adding the zest of lemon to the cream to heighten the flavor of the Malasol caviar. You see that? Just a few little scrapes. Tuck, tuck. And then, of course, the flavor of Grey Goose vodka. A little touch. You don't want to break down the cream too much. There we go. That's enough to put a smile on your face for Mother's Day. You're going to fold that in gently. Mix all the ingredients together carefully so as not to break the cream. Fold it in. A little bit of air helps, like we do for ice cream. Perfect. Now we're going to get ready to scramble the egg and top it off with some nice Malasol caviar. Are you ready? Let's go scramble our egg. We're going to whip it really good. Whip it good. Fold a lot of air in it. Keep it light and fluffy. Get those pepper grindings in there. You're not going to cook it all the way as you would scrambled eggs for breakfast. You're going to use a rubber spatula to keep it moving in the Teflon pan. Make sure our heat is right. We don't want to make scrambled eggs all the way. We want to keep it a little bit liquid so it'll go back in the shell for the Louis Outier L'Oasis presentation. Oh, Mr. Outier would be happy. I hope you will be too. All right, we have it right where we want it. Let's go back to our eggshell. It's scrambled eggs with caviar time. These are licensed clean fingers. I'm not wearing gloves today because I'm not serving any of you. Unfortunately, we can't send this out to all of you in your dinner or brunch bags. But when we get off of shelter in place and social distancing, I promise I will make it for you. Here we go. Lightly scrambled eggs, almost in liquid form. Back into the shell. Okay. This is just for a presentation. It's one egg, kind of 3 bites. We're going to go back to our vodka cream with lemon zest. Top that off. You know what's next, right? Caviar! Hooray! Now, some people like to put a little point of caviar on top just for a little taste, but I will remind you, this is Smith Ranch Homes. Those of you who have been to a wine dinner or a board dinner know that when we serve caviar, it's just like everything else. We offer you the best. Are you ready? And we offer you plenty of it. Oh boy. Chris, are you ready? Scrambled eggs with caviar. Happy Mother's Day, ladies. Enjoy. Hello, welcome back. How was the caviar? Happy Mother's Day one more time. Have you ever been to one of our wine dinners or one of our special parties and you bit into a big organic fresh strawberry and it was flavored with orange liqueur and cognac, Grand Marnier? You have, I know you have, and you wondered, how do they do that? Well, I'm here to pull the curtain on the magic trick. Ready? Ta-da! I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. Here we go. Grand Marnier orange liqueur. I'm going to pour out a little bit of that just to wet your whistle, make you smile on Mother's Day. Then we're going to use our perfectly sanitary hypodermic. Take in some of the Grand Marnier. And yes, you guessed it, we're going to inject each fresh strawberry with a quarter shot of Grand Marnier orange cognac. Draw a little more, as the doctor prescribed. Inject it inside, just so you have a mouthful of strawberry and a mouthful of Grand Marnier at the same time. Yes, it's very French. Here we go, one more quarter shot on organic strawberry. Last but certainly not least, and you are ready to celebrate Mother's Day. Delectable, 2 bites each, enough to wet your whistle and make you smile. Little powdered sugar. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Enjoy. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the scrambled eggs and caviar. And yes, I will keep my promise and make that for all of you when we get off of shelter in place. Speaking of shelter in place, thank you so much for abiding by the policies and the restrictions. I know it's been a challenge for all of you. It certainly has been for us. We miss seeing you in the clubhouse, in the grill room, in the lounge, in the dining room, and we hope to see you there real soon. Thank you to Scott Newman for inviting me onto his fantastic show. Hey Mom, look, I'm on TV. Thank you to Chris Ellingson, our extraordinary producer and cameraman. Thank you to all of you again, and thank you to all the mothers. Special tribute to my mother who raised 6 of us on her own and did one heck of a job. Before we go, I'd like to teach you one more little trick, and that's a toast. We're going to do a little toast of Chambord liqueur. Pour a little shot into the bottom of a tulip, champagne tulip. We're going to pop a bottle of champagne for all of you mothers, all of our moms, here at Smith Ranch and around the country and around the world. Oh yes, it's bubbles time. Chambord raspberry liqueur and some champagne, toasting all the mothers, both here at Smith Ranch, around Marin County and around the country. You know that I don't drink alcohol, so I'm having a vintage 2020 Pellegrino water. Chris, thank you. Mothers, happy Mother's Day.
Welcome back. This is Scott's Sentiment. It's hard to believe, but we're approaching 2 months now of coronavirus, COVID-19, and shelter-in-place orders. It's almost feeling like this is the new normal. But let's remember too that we're not through all of this just yet. Granted, there's a lot of different reports coming with different perspectives, but perhaps the most conservative is we're not even through half of this yet. This is going to be something that stays with us for quite a while, and while we don't know for how long, an analogy that I've come across is looking at this as now concluding the end of the first quarter of a football game. We're not at halftime, we're not at the 2-minute warning, we're still really in the beginning stages. With this becoming the new normal, it's also easy to get lax. I, for one, forgot my face covering today. I've seen a lot of residents throughout the property walking in close groups, and I'm seeing a lot of employees needing to be constantly reminded to provide the symptom checks to their managers. Let's remember that while indeed duration creates exhaustion, let's remain strong and still live within the social distancing requirements, the face covering requirements, and just overall good practices that are being recommended by local, state, and federal authorities. Thanks for hanging in there. Hope to see you again for another episode. Happy Mother's Day, and see you soon. God bless.